Emiliano Sala's father speaks out after a private search team discovers the footballer's plane. This is the first picture of Emiliano Sala's doomed plane lying on the bed of the English Channel. The haunting image of the wreckage was released by the Air Accident Investigation Branch today, whose team also revealed that the body of either Sala or his pilot David Ibbotson is on board. The operation to recover the doomed plane was cancelled today and could be hampered by days of poor weather. It was found by a sea search vessel paid for by Sala's family yesterday, and a small submarine, RAV, with an HD camera confirmed it was the Piper Malibu that disappeared over the Channel Islands 2 weeks ago. AAIB spokesman said, "Tragically, in video footage from the RAV, one occupant is visible amidst the wreckage." The AAIB is now considering the next steps, in consultation with the families of the pilot and passenger, and the police. The families of the £15 million striker and his pilot David Ibbotson are waiting to hear whose body is in the fuselage of the Piper Malibu that vanished in a storm 2 weeks ago. Sala's bereft father Horacio, who has not joined his ex-wife, son and daughter in Britain, told reporters in the Argentinian town of Progreso, "I cannot believe it. This is a dream. A bad dream. I'm desperate." The Coast Guard abandoned their search last week after ruling out any survivors of the air crash, with the footballer's family brought in a celebrated shipwreck hunter to lead the search. The sea search vessel FPV Morven picked up the wreckage using sonar yesterday morning, and an unmanned Air Accident Investigation Branch submarine sent to the seabed used an HD camera to identify the blue and white aircraft. Shipwreck hunter David Mearns, who informed the families of Emiliano Sala and pilot David Ibbotson last night, said it was a possibility that their bodies would be found among the plane wreckage in the English Channel. Mr. Mearns said most of the plane was there, telling BBC Radio 4's Today program, "We were expecting to find a debris field. It is broken, but most of it is there." Asked whether the bodies were likely to still be on board, he said, "That's a possibility, and they will be planning for that as well, so there's a number of things the AAIB have to consider, but their main role obviously is to conduct their investigation of what caused this crash." The specialist search for the missing plane began off the coast of Guernsey yesterday morning and located the wreckage on the seabed just hours later. Sala and pilot Ibbotson left Nantes in France for Cardiff on January 21, after the star signed for the Welsh Premier League team, disappearing over the Channel. The official search was called off after 4 days, but Sala's friends, family and fans clubbed together to pay for a private search to continue with renowned shipwreck hunter Mr. Mearns. On Sunday morning, their efforts paid off. George Ocean 3 left Ostend in Belgium at 9 a.m. and began combing the area. Within hours it was search vessel FPV Morven which picked up a sonar signal from the depths. The wreckage of the Piper Malibu was formally identified by officials from the Air Accident Investigation Board. The AAIB's vessel deployed a remote-controlled submarine to examine the plane and tonight confirmed it was the craft carrying the striker. Families of both men have been informed of the discovery. Sala's father said last night he had not had any contact with the rest of his family, who are still in a hotel in Nantes, and found out about the plane's discovery on TV. "I communicated with them every day, but since I do not have WhatsApp it's hard to call them or call me. They told me that the days passed and there was no news of Emiliano or the plane," said Horacio. He said that the family are in the hotel along with 8 or 9 friends who are believed to have received the news from Argentine embassies in France and England. At 9 a.m., both the AAIB's George Ocean 3 vessel and a private boat, which includes a side-scan sonar, were used to try and find the aircraft. Teams from the AAIB have now moved into location at the site to recover the aircraft. The vessel that made the discovery was led by marine scientist David Mearns, who confirmed the identity and location of the plane. He confirmed that it was in the early stages of this morning's search. Around 9 a.m., the discovery was made. But tonight they have heard devastating news, and in respect of the families I won't comment any further about what has happened. The recovery vessel picked up something on the sonar 24 miles off Guernsey and made further passes over the area to pinpoint the location before going through various stages of identification. David Mearns called the news devastating but told Sky News that at least we were able to bring some sort of answer to the families. The discovery came just 2 days after cushions from a plane were found on a beach near Certainville in Normandy, France, directly east of Guernsey where the plane disappeared from radar. Emiliano Sala and pilot David Ibbotson disappeared when their plane vanished as it passed near Alderney on 21 January during a flight from Nantes to Cardiff. The AAIB said its search was expected to last 3 days, while the private search will continue until the plane is located, reported the BBC. A 4-mile square area, based on the flight path before the plane lost contact, was covered. The official search after the plane's disappearance was called off after 3 days as officials didn't believe there was much chance of anyone having survived. An online petition was then started which raised more than £300,000 to put on a privately funded search using a specialist survey vessel. More than 3,500 people had responded to the appeal for funds and the target was broken with the help of a £26,000 donation from French World Cup winner Kylian Mbappé. The boat, operated by global marine cable installation firm A2C, is equipped with the latest technology. It includes a multi-beam echo sounder and side-scan sonar, which can detect anomalies on the seabed. David Mearns, who claims to have found 24 major shipwrecks, led the group during the search. He said that the boat, called Morven, was brought from Southampton to Guernsey 6 hours earlier than scheduled to take advantage of a break in the weather. Mr. Mearns said both vessels will divide the search area looking for wreckage and a debris field in a depth of 60 to 120 meters, 196 to 390 feet. Members of Mr. Sala's family and friends arrived in Guernsey last Saturday and several members of the group were later taken to the small island of Barrow. The islet was the focus of social media attention on the night of the disappearance after members of the public shared a picture which appeared to show flares coming from the island. However, John Fitzgerald, the director of Channel Islands Air Search, said the island and its surrounding area had been searched many times. He added, "It is really a puffin reserve. It is tiny but you can land on it," he said. The plane and helicopters have been over many times since the night the plane vanished, but they haven't seen anything in that area. It is only a few hundred meters long and it has been saturated by helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft. The flares I have seen pictures of are most likely aircraft trails.